What's up, my Puppeteer fans? Welcome back to another video for Crystal of Atlan. This video will be going over the two Puppeteer subclasses releasing on the global launch of Crystal of Atlan, Scytheguard and Blademaiden, what their passives will be on the global release, as well as what their general playstyles are as well. The Puppeteer is a melee DPS class that uses a puppet to extend the range of her skills as well as follow up on her basic attack in her skills as well. Her first subclass, the Scytheguard, is actually the only pseudo support inside the game. I do say pseudo support because even though she can heal and sustain the team, she does have a damage buff passive that also goes on top of that as well, allowing her to actually take advantage of a 30% damage buff if you stack both buffs at the same time. The two buffs I am referring to are at the bottom of her screen, one on the left side and one on the right side. For visual sake, we'll call the one on the left the light side, and for the right one, we will call that the dark side. How the Scytheguard will function is you'll be using her skills to build up both of these meters. You can build them up independently, or you can build them both up at the same time. If you build the light side, you will get a healing buff for yourself, and if you build the right side, you will get a damage buff for yourself. The way that you will go about consuming these stacks is you'll use your basic attack. So if you build up the light side and then basic attack, you will consume the light stacks. And if you do the dark side and then basic attack, you will consume the dark stack. So anytime you have 3 stacks at either side, you will consume those stacks by using a basic attack. The best way to actually take advantage of this meter, however, is to stack both at the same time. So you want 3 stacks of the light, 3 stacks of the dark, and then you want to consume both stacks. The reason being is because this will give you the highest damage buff. If you consume the dark stacks without consuming the light as well, you only get 25%, but if you do both, you will get a 30% on top of healing. So it augments your buff even more by consuming both stacks at the same time. So her main rotation is essentially using her skills to weave the 3 stacks for both light and dark, and then your basic attack to consume. The skills that can build each stack will actually be marked at the bottom of the screen as well in your skill bar, as well as your ultimates will always generate 1 light and 1 dark stat. As this class is the only one that can heal others in the game, I would say this class is definitely for those who want to take on more of a supportive role, but don't neglect the damage on her because her damage is actually very good, especially if you are taking advantage of her passive the correct way. Next, we'll be looking at the second subclass, which is the Blademaiden. The Blademaiden is definitely more of the Puppeteer class for the Puppeteer. Does that make sense? This class has much more of a hands-on role with the puppet that she actually commands. You have skills that allow you to place the puppet in various positions. You can place it across the map, you can send it straight forward in a line, or you can even recall the puppet back to you, allowing you to have a lot more control over your puppet than the Scytheguard actually has. The Scytheguard is more of just the puppet following you, whereas this class, you actually have an active role in making sure that the puppet is in the places that you want it to be to do the most amount of damage. She doesn't necessarily have too much in the way of damage buffs. Her main passive is being able to detach the puppet from herself and being able to place it in various positions. And then you further augment that passive at level 45, allowing you to cancel some of the delay time between some of the skills that you're actually using. So allowing you to quick cast skills with the puppet, in further increasing your overall DPS. But the main way to get damage on this class is just being able to sandwich the enemy between yourself and the puppet to do the most amount of damage by overlapping the skills that do the most amount of damage on her kit. It seems very straightforward when explained, but in practicality, it does take a little bit of time to kind of know exactly what skills you call the puppet, where you want to place the puppet, where the puppet is at certain times. Your basic attack can also replace the puppet as well. So if you wanted to, let's say, get the puppet to come towards you, but you don't have any skills that can pull the puppet towards you, you can basic attack to actually allow the puppet to come towards you as well. So there's a lot of nuance between her skills, and positioning is very important on this character. This class, I definitely had a lot more fun leveling than the Scytheguard, in just my opinion, because of just how interactive her actual playstyle is and just how much you actually have to keep track of while actually playing her. Me personally, I like classes that force me to kind of micromanage certain things, so that just was right up my alley, and I genuinely enjoyed playing this class. It reminded me a lot of the game Astral Chain from the Switch. I think you'll definitely love this class if you love to have a much more active role with your positioning and being a lot more mindful of positioning. Like if you love to be rewarded for making smart decisions while playing the game, like while doing raids and PvP and everything like that as well, this class is definitely the one for you. I definitely think that this class will also be very strong in PvP just because you're able to effectively sandwich people in between 2 different hitboxes. That being said, however, this class does require you to have the puppet with you to actually do the majority of your damage. So if you're missing skills with the puppet, you will see a dip in her damage. So make sure you're positioning the puppet right depending on the skill that you are using. That being said, that covers it for the Puppeteer. This class is very unique in regards to the two subclasses that she actually has and how they play and how they differ from each other. Both of them do not play like each other at all. They both offer two very unique playstyles. I definitely would recommend trying out both of them if you're still undecided on which one of them you are going to go for. And I say that because both of their playstyles are genuinely that much different that you may think you like Scytheguard and then you go ahead and try Blademaiden and you like Blademaiden, or you may think you like Blademaiden, but then you go ahead and try Scytheguard and you like Scytheguard. You are able to change classes for free up until level 40, so you're able to test out between these two classes at any point in time, and that goes for any of the other classes that I've made videos on as well. But if you have already decided based on this video or other information, definitely let me know in the comments which one you will be choosing, and thank you for watching.